1620thezone.com. When 6A to 6P isn't enough, the boys have you covered. Here's Jimmy Allen
and John Schreiner.
Welcome into the After Hours Lounge on a Monday night. We got a great show lined up for you all. Well, not all 8. 7 of the 8 boys Class A soccer participants are going to join us in studio. We're going to start with Omaha South. We'll get to Papio South, Millard North. Nick Rubeck from the Omaha World Herald is going to join us at 6:45. Tom Hoover from Creighton Prep will join us at 7. 7:15, we'll talk to Lincoln Southwest. 7:30, Omaha Westside, and we will close out with Lincoln Southeast. Get your thoughts in on boys soccer tonight at After Hours 1620 on Twitter. We are brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're looking for the ideal college experience this fall, head over to bellevue.edu and register for classes tonight. As we mentioned, the Omaha South Packers are starting off the show tonight, and their head coach Joe Moss is in studio with Julian Rodriguez and Dylan Holden tonight. Coach, thanks for being here tonight. We greatly appreciate it. It feels like we can just kind of pencil you in this week every year.
Thanks for having us. I've been here quite a few times.
Yeah, good step up just a little bit closer.
Yeah, I've been here quite a few times. And
apparently not enough to know how to use the microphone. That's
no, something I didn't teach you in high school.
There we go, or junior high, but we won't go there either. Coach, it feels like every time we talk to you this part of the season, you guys are on a hot run, 7-0 down the stretch. Why is this team playing so well at the end of the year?
It just takes a while to gel. In the last two or three seasons, we started off with a lot of guys kind of want to do their own thing and a lot of hero ball, and then after the big loss this year, I think we all had a big talk about what hero ball is and what it is not, and then they use the cliche about our team's a family, but I think we had to talk about how sometimes families don't like each other, but we still have to get through Thanksgiving, and that's a win. And that's literally what I said. So.
They both pointed at each other when you mentioned that. Is there maybe some offenders in studio tonight?
Potentially.
Okay.
There's a lot of offenders, and it was good to after we lost the 5-0. It seemed like I think everybody pretty much wrote us off, but we were missing a few guys that game, and a guy was in Grand Island for like an electrician competition, and then there was a guy on a red card. We've had a few of those this year, so just a lot of adversity. And then after we beat Papio South about 5 days later, after losing that game, everything just kind of turned around. And then we also got our formation right. Julian started playing up top. Gio moved to the right wing, and then kids fit into the spots better. And then we had some guys that transferred in last year that have kind of come around from other schools.
You mentioned the roster change and moving guys to different positions. Is it a matter of you put them in the right spot, but also they bought into the right time as well?
I'd say it's probably a little bit of both. Sometimes you try to put them in places they don't want to be, and then when they have success at it, then they buy into it. And then sometimes, to be honest, it doesn't work, so then we move them again.
Okay.
I wonder, as a coach, you get to this time of year, is there like a standard list of things that you get concerned about? And then specifically with this team, what are the things that you feel like you really need to be solid with going into the state tournament?
We just need to maintain our consistency. After the midseason, like I said, after the midseason blow up, kind of after that, everything's been fine. And just right now, you just want to continue the momentum. And then as far as practice goes, you don't want to like reinvent the wheel in the last couple of practices. You just keep everybody healthy is the main thing for me.
We always ask the players that come in this question, but for you, this isn't your first time walking into Morrison Stadium. How much of an advantage does it give a coach that's not going into there for? I mean, listen, this is kind of a blue chip program state tournament. I mean, there isn't one team in this group that doesn't belong. But how much of an advantage does it give you as a head coach that you've been able to do this before and win the whole thing?
For me, it's not. I mean, I don't really feel the stress that much because we've been there 14 out of the last 15, and really Morrison's only about 2 miles from our stadium.
Sure.
So our stadium size is pretty much the same. I mean, it's a little bigger there, but I would think the teams that play on smaller fields, they're the ones that should be worried more than the teams like mine who we regularly play on a wide field. And so, but overall, I don't get as worked up as I used to. I think when I was younger, and
maybe before you won a title too.
I think I've won a couple, so it's after a while, it's like it's more about the kids now. So I think in the early days, I really wanted to prove something in the first go around, and then after that, it really comes down to the kids and whether they win or not more than me. I mean, I've done it before, so
sure.
What are the characteristics of this team specifically that make you feel confident that you can make a deep run in this tournament?
It just seems like when it seems like things maybe aren't going right in the first half, we always seem to come out in the second half and do really well. Like we played Westside, go down 2-0. I wind up kicking somebody off the bench, and then the next thing you know, we come back, go up 3, and then you think it's over, and then Westside comes back and scores, and then we fight all the way to the end. I can't remember if we got a red card in that game too, but then go into a shootout and win. I mean, that was probably the biggest win of the season when I look back in terms of how the game unfolded. And there's been a lot of games where maybe we didn't score in the first half, like North Star, Millard South, and then the next half we come out, have a little heart-to-heart about family again, and then score a couple goals. And so I like the way that they don't quit until the end.
You brought your two captains with you tonight. We're going to talk to him. Julian Rodriguez is with us in studio. Julian, go ahead and step up. 12 this year, 2 goals against Westview, each 30 seconds apart. You guys are up 2-0 in that game, and we've kind of talked to Coach about some of the shortcomings this season. Talk about the positive side of things. You guys end up winning that game 5-0. Is it easier for you as a scorer to play a little more freely when you guys have a little bit of lead to work with?
Yeah, it honestly feels like more leverage for us to like move around and just play our game and
play a little more
freely.
loose. Yeah.
12 goals in your sophomore season. What were you expecting to do this year, and how did your performance this year either meet or exceed that?
Oh, I thought I was gonna start like play the whole season, like right wing, but as time moved on, we moved pieces, and I guess I found more success in the striker spot.
When you have success like you did as a freshman, we're going to get to that in a minute, but also success as a sophomore, does that change your role from a leadership standpoint? You're obviously a captain on this team. From a leadership and a vocalization standpoint, how is this year different than a year ago?
I feel like this year I'm more like talkative on the field and more like pushing my teammates on to do better and stuff like that.
You had a big goal in the state tournament last year, game winner. It's your second tournament. What are you most excited for now in your second trip to state?
This time I'm more excited for like to win it this time.
All right.
We gotta come back and win it.
That's a good thing to be excited about.
Yeah.
What is something that Coach Moss says every practice that you can't get out of your head?
What he talked about, that we may not like each other, but we are family while we play with each other. So we gotta, once we step on the field, we play with each other, and when we're out, we don't have to like talk to each other or nothing. But that's it.
Why don't you like Dylan? No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to answer that. Julian, thank you very much, and good luck this week at state. We'll talk to Dylan Holden, joins us in studio as well. Dylan, a game away from the state title game a year ago. What would it mean to you to get Omaha South back to a state title game and maybe even have a chance to win a championship?
Honestly, I really just look forward to taking it one step at a time, and then hopefully if we do get, which I think we will, if we do get to the state championship, that would obviously mean a lot to me and the team, and I hope we can play our game and get there one step by one step.
You had hat tricks in your last 2 games of the regular season, almost doubled your goal tally for the entire year. What was working so well for you at the end?
New cleats.
Yeah, new boots, right?
There
Can
you
I
go.
borrow them?
Yeah.
I really just from the big games that we played, scoring from those games, I just really needed to know what I needed to do, and versus the not as big teams, and honestly just learning from the bigger games, shooting. I needed to shoot more, and that's what I did. So,
what does life after high school look like for you, as far as soccer is concerned?
Honestly, I've been talking to some colleges, some big colleges to play soccer there. Hopefully I can succeed from there. My dream is to go pro, so
Sure.
hopefully maybe I can make something out of that for soccer. So.
Given the rich history and tradition of Omaha South soccer, do you ever feel any sort of pressure to bring a trophy home for this community?
Honestly, yeah, and the crowd definitely puts a little bit of pressure on you too, because there's always a big crowd.
Yeah,
always a lot of people supporting you. So there's definitely some pressure there, but other than that, you just got to play your game. And if we play our game, I don't really feel that much pressure.
Coach kind of mentioned that a minute ago. Obviously, you guys play in a larger stadium in front of a larger crowd. How many people are you expecting to be at Morrison tomorrow for your guys' match?
I'm expecting a lot. I'm expecting hopefully more than last year. There was a lot last year, but I think we can get more this year because I think we can definitely go far this year. But definitely with the crowds that we get, small games, for this big game, I know we're going to get a lot.
What how many family members are going to be in attendance?
Yeah,
all of them are. Well, good luck tomorrow, guys, and we appreciate it. Coach. We'll go back over to you to wrap this thing up. We're talking to Joe Moss, the head coach of the Omaha South boys soccer team. What does this team have to do to win a state title?
To win a state title, we just have. I mean, just play our game, and we're confident. I think we can play with anybody in the state. I feel like of all the teams in the field, when we play our best, we're probably one team that is capable of playing with prep on our best day.
Sure. I'm only bringing this up because you mentioned it last time you were here. You've won a couple of state championships. You've been doing this a long time. How much longer are you going to be at Omaha South?
I got 4 years till I could retire from teaching if I retire. But it's every year I just look at it from year to year and then go from there. But I have a really good freshman class this year, and a lot of those kids played for me in club, so I still got a ways to go.
Mike Greenwalsh, keep him around a little while. Coach, I appreciate your time. Thanks for being here tonight. If you missed the Omaha South segment, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620. It was brought to you by Allo Fiber. Allo goes beyond internet, bringing fast, reliable speeds with an all-fiber network directly up to your house. Whether you're in the Ralston area or the Papillion area and you're looking for new internet service, Allo Fiber is coming to your neighborhood. Check out allofiber.com for more details tonight. We'll be right back talking to Dave Lawrence at Papio South right here on the After Hours Lounge at 1620 The Zone.
Don't wanna listen to the radio or stick around just to hear I told you so.
Hey everybody, John Schreiner here for Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. Did you get out and swing the club over the weekend? Nice weather. It was Mother's Day as well, so maybe you didn't on Sunday. But if you're looking to get out now for the rest of the summer, you want to look your best when you step out on tee number 1, get to 78th and Dodge and pick up some new Roan golf gear. The new polos that they have over there at Jerry Ryan, they are gorgeous. They feel great, they look great, and you're going to play great when you're in the new Roan golf gear that you picked up at Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. Tell them After Hours sent you when you go in to get your brand new Roan golf polo. 78th and Dodge is the place. They've been dressing Omaha for over 50 years.
You can get a great craft beer pretty much anywhere these days. But what about the whole package? Dining out, service, and atmosphere? Come to Cunningham's Pub and Grill, home of Omaha's original smoked wings, now with 2 locations. We're bringing back Sundays at our Old Mill location this fall, where you can catch all the sports while enjoying quality food and drinks. Find your flavor and follow us online for unique daily specials and fun craft beer events. Cunningham's Pub and Grill in Old Mill and now Blackstone.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
Did that trash or recycling truck roll by your house without stopping again? Hi, I'm Megan with Papillion Sanitation.
.617 on a Monday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. Head over to bellevue.edu, register for classes. You could become a Bruin tonight. No classes on Friday. The majority of your classes done online. Check out bellevue.edu for more details today. Joining us in studio now is the Papio South Titans. Their head coach Dave Lawrence has brought Jude Anderson and Adrian Guzman in with us tonight. Coach, thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Hey, Dan, can we turn his microphone on? Hey, Coach, thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
You guys come up just short against Lincoln Southeast and don't win districts. Do you feel like that has halted momentum at all, or is it just on to the next one?
No, not at all. We've been through that all year. We're kind of a Jekyll and Hyde team. We beat Omaha South 5-0. They beat us the next week 3-2. We got to.
Oh, did they? They didn't bring that up at all 2 minutes ago.
Oh, I'm sure he did. He wouldn't send me the tape on that game either.
Oh, weird how that works.
Joe and I go way back. We used to detassel corn together when we were 16.
He was my junior high and my high school gym teacher, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Coach, a semifinal team a year ago. What's different about this year's team, and what are some of the things that are the same?
All right, a lot less experience this year. We had a senior class last year that there were a lot of those guys who'd been 3-year starters on varsity. And so it took us a little time to kind of get things going this year and figure out who our leaders were going to be. Last year we had Cole Kurska, who was just in everybody's face, loud, and we don't have that guy this year. We have quiet leaders, leaders who show on the field they lead, but they're not getting in people's faces.
Well, what does that change for you as a coach when you don't necessarily have that vocal leader on the pitch versus when you do?
No, that's when I turn to Johnny. Johnny will get in guys' faces.
Yeah.
He's our vocal leader out there.
Right on.
When you guys' defense is on, it's on. You guys are undefeated in games where you've let the opponent score one or less goals. Why is you mentioned the team's Jekyll and Hyde. Why is the defense so good at times, but maybe not lapsing in others?
Well, really, the defense has been strong all year. I think the most goals we've given up was 3 against Prep. I think the rest were almost all 1 or 2 or 0. It's the offense that's more Jekyll and Hyde. Sometimes it seems like, boy, we can just score at will, and other times we really struggle, and that's what happened against Lincoln Southeast. We just could not get it in. Great saves by their keeper. Their defense played well, but we had lots of shots and just couldn't get the back of the net.
Is that the primary concern for you going into the state tournament? Is which offensive team shows up?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what do you do obviously that's one of the things that keeps you up at night as a coach is just the uncertainty of it. But is there anything you can do? You think, have you identified maybe, a formation or a setup that might give you a better chance?
Well, for most of the year, we didn't have Elias Hernandez, who scored 13 goals, 10 assists last year, and we are just getting him back into the swing of things.
Oh, that's nice.
And then he got the red card, so he won't be able to play tomorrow. So we'll have to go back to we've used the same formation, but tried different guys in different spots throughout the year, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. That's the question. Which buttons to push.
Your shirt with the one with the Titan logo. What's that about?
11 as one.
There it is. All right.
That's
Coach, we're going to talk to your players. You brought Jude Anderson in with you. Jude, good to step up and grab the mic. You're a senior this year. This is the last time you're going to crack at a state title. How's preparation for this state tournament been different than previous years? You're wearing your 2023 shirt proudly tonight.
It's been a lot different. Like Coach Lawrence said, we don't have the vocal leader. We don't have really somebody that'll get in your face, get on you for things. But I think we're pretty prepared going into the state tournament. Losing to Lincoln Southeast, I don't think that affected us at all, just our seeding really. But we would have had to beat Prep anyway. And we just get them first round.
This game against Prep, it's a rematch of the semifinal from a year ago. Overtime thriller. just an incredible match. How are you approaching it? Is there any revenge factor there for you?
I would say a lot of revenge. I know a lot of kids on prep. I've played club with a lot of kids on prep for all my life.
Which one do you like the least? No, don't say that. You're fine.
But yeah, a lot of revenge. Just want to go out there and compete. It's going to be a good game no matter what. They know it, we know it, and just got to go out there and compete.
You're obviously in your last year of high school. What does life after high school look like for you?
I'm going to Bellevue University.
Yeah, there you go.
Going to play soccer. Yep. Really excited. Good historical program. Ready to play under Coach Mark and win.
Can you understand his accent?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Perfect. That's good. That's good start.
Yep.
Good start.
Yep.
You come from a soccer family.
Yep.
Your dad, pretty good player in his own right.
Yes, yeah.
Can you put into words the influence that he's had on your career?
It's hard to put it into words, but he's had a lot of effect. I love my dad. He's done a lot for me.
You think he's listening right now?
I don't know. He was at Menards last night, so I'm not sure.
What is something about Coach Lawrence that you'll kind of take with you after you leave high school?
Just his good attitude. Always in a good attitude, smiling, just having a good time. Always have a good time around him.
Jude, well, good luck. We appreciate you being here tonight. Good luck when you get to Bellevue as well. Adrian, we'll go over to you. Adrian Guzman joins us in studio as well. For you, you're a senior as well. Why can this version of this Papio South team win state?
Yeah, I think it's very different. Coming off of last year, we had a lot of guys with a lot of experience. We all felt pretty confident about it last year, but I think what's different this year is we got a lot of guys that are seniors. It's our last chance, and we got a lot of new guys. It's like their first chance, we want to prove something.
Sure.
So I think that's a big motivator for all of us as a team to, come here and fight.
You've been described as an old school center mid. What does that description mean to you?
At first when I heard it, I wasn't too sure, but I mean, when I think of it, I take it as a compliment. I kind of see that as like somebody, like a midfielder being able to connect the defense and attack, seamlessly, But I don't know. I felt pretty good about hearing that.
I thought maybe it was like because you're out there as an enforcer, and you're out there to crack heads.
Yeah,
Jude's nodding, so apparently that's a thing.
Yeah, I guess you could see during games, I try to go into tackles as hard as I can, try to win the ball.
All right, that's what I like to
do
hear.
What I can.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you walk into Morrison tomorrow, it'll probably be the highlight of the season after today. But what up until this point of the season, what's been the highlight for you?
It's kind of hard to choose just one. I think what I loved most about the season is just being able to come together like as a team. I feel like this is the most connected we've been as a team, like my last 3 years on varsity.
Why do you think that is?
Come together.
Is it because you're an upperclassman now?
I say that has something to do with it. Yeah,
Sure.
I feel like I have more influence now. I can be more of a leader, I guess, and kind of like push that, I guess, chemistry on and off the field.
We kind of asked Jude about it, but have you started imagining what it's going to feel like to pull off this upset tomorrow, and how are you approaching this game?
Oh yeah, ever since we found out that we were gonna have to come back at them, that's all we've been thinking about. We're ready. We're pretty excited for it.
What would it mean to the class of 2025 to win a state championship?
It'd be pretty awesome. We haven't been able to make it past the semifinals. Just making it to the championship alone would be pretty great, but winning a state title, the first in school history too, that'd be pretty amazing.
Adrian, thanks for being here tonight. Good luck in the tournament. Coach, we'll go back over to you to wrap this up. We're talking to Dave Lawrence, the head coach of the Papio South boys soccer team here on the After Hours Lounge. How does this team win a state championship?
These two guys right here.
Good start.
They're a huge part of it. We have a group of guys that have been on the field for 3 straight years, on varsity for 3 straight years. They know how to win. We went a long time without even making it to state, 7, 8 years, and now we've been back 4 years in a row. It's time to take that next step. It's time for these guys to show their leadership and lead us there.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Good luck tomorrow and the rest of the tournament. That is Dave Lawrence, the head coach of the Papio South Titans. He brought Jude Anderson and Adrian Guzman in with him tonight. If you missed their segment, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620. It was brought to you by Cunningham's Pub. They've got 2 great locations. You've already been out to the Old Mill District. We know you have. It's a great experience. Have you been down to Blackstone yet? If you haven't, you're missing out. Stop down to Blackstone. Right across the street from the bar, there's a new parking garage with less than a 5-minute walk right to Derek's front door. Check out Cunningham's Pub. Try the smoked wings. Our personal favorite is the blueberry sriracha. If you're feeling experimental, want to try something new, stop down to Cunningham's and try the blueberry sriracha wings tonight. We'll be right back. Catch up with Millard North and their players here on 1620 The Zone.
Hey, everybody. John Schreiner here for Bob at Williams Law. Do you have sports law problems? Probably not. Bob comes in and talks about those with us every week. And your legal problems are more of the personal variety, I'm guessing, if you have any. Whether it's criminal or civil, Bob Williams can help you through that process. And he's not even going to ask you to pay him the first time you meet. That's right, a no-obligation legal consultation from Bob Williams. That's your first step to peace of mind with your legal process. He's going to sit you down, go over your rights, walk you through the process, and give you the best representation that you can get. If you need legal representation, you need Bob Williams in your corner. Check him out at williamslawllc.com.
Welcome back to the After Hours Lounge, brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're looking for the ideal college experience this fall, head over to bellevue.edu, register for classes. You can become a Bruin. No classes on Fridays. You can do the majority of your classes online as well. I can't believe this is the first time we've done this in the 6 years of this show, but Nick Rubeck from the Omaha World Herald is joining us now here on After Hours. Nick, thanks for doing this, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Happy to be here.
I'm going to kind of make you pick between your two favorite and maybe your two favorite children at this point, but it's this weekend. This week at Morrison is special for a lot of people. You cover a lot of stuff in the Omaha area, and I know how much you love wrestling as well.
Yep.
Is state soccer your favorite time of year?
Oh, that's a tough one. I will say
you're going to make somebody mad no matter what.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's tough to beat just a really nice night in downtown Omaha this time of year, typically when it's not 90 degrees. And, you get a big crowd and you get that final. I still think the best day on the calendar is Friday night at the state wrestling tournament. But the state soccer tournament is just it's become such an event. And I think it really speaks to soccer as a whole in the area. And, just it keeps going up. Even people I've talked to over the last few weeks for stories and different things and background, and people that have experience even internationally. And they talk about how the level in Nebraska is rising and continuing to rise. And I think this event is definitely a reason for that, for sure.
How much do you think Morrison plays into them? It's a unique venue, and it's obviously a fantastic building to catch a game in.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know that if there are better venues for it and better events for a state championship. There's not many. We're pretty lucky here, really are, to have it at such a good venue and to have people give it the attention it deserves. And it's turned into an 8-day event. I remember it used to be a 6-day event, and it felt like we were cramming everything in when there were 6 games a day. And I think it's found a really happy place with having one class of boys or girls each day. And again, just arrow pointed straight up with this thing.
Yeah, and a lot of that is because I think a lot of the reasons it's become so popular also is it feels like the talent in the metro area is kind of going up as well and has continued to increase with the level of coaching and the level of talent that's come through the Omaha/Lincoln area. With that being said, there's going to be a lot of people taking in soccer for the first time this week. Who's a player that you think could leave a positive influence on people in the stadium that maybe if they haven't seen it yet or they're excited about soccer and kind of maybe stealing the show?
Yeah, I'm going to give you 2. I think the really obvious one is Jordan Aguema from Creighton Prep. If you watch him play, you're typically going to leave at some point shaking your head like, how did that just happen? Big eyes, seeing something that you don't typically see on a soccer field here.
Yeah.
Just athleticism, know-how, intelligent, the IQ, the soccer IQ is there. Everything is just there, and he's only a junior. It will be really interesting. He could potentially go down as one of, if not the best boys player to play in the state of Nebraska. And I know that is a lofty statement, and sometimes we get caught in recency bias. I take all of that out. The kid is just special.
I've seen him
special.
I've seen him make some passes with his feet that some guys can't pick up a football or baseball and throw and put in the same spot.
That's such a great point. I talked to one of their assistant coaches for a story in the last couple of days, and one of the things he said to me that stuck out was even his assists are special. Like, guys that score goals that are special are one thing, but when you have guys that are having assists that are special, it's just next level. And then the other one I was going to bring up was Austin Kaiser from Bennington. I know we're talking Class A boys here, but I think what he's done over 4 years, and I think this year he's taken a step physically. I just noticed he's bigger, he's faster, he's stronger. Any match that they play, even if they play 3 matches, it doesn't matter who they play. He's going to be the biggest, fastest, strongest player on the field. So those are 2 that I think are slam dunks for worth the price of admission.
I think Prep and Millard North are probably the 2 teams that everybody would assume are the favorites in Class A. Do you have a dark horse that you think could come out of this tournament and maybe surprise some people?
Yeah, Lincoln Southwest for me, which you're like, oh, runner up last year. That's not really a surprise.
Sure.
They hit a stretch where they were just decimated by injuries, and I think it got up to nearly double digits for them, injury wise, and they have gotten healthy down the stretch. They're not 100%, but I think that's one that could surprise some people. Now they also open with Omaha South,
Yep.
so the gauntlet's laid down for them if they are going to make some noise. But that's one that maybe I think people are forgetting about a little bit, just because they had their not typical Lincoln Southwest year, but they're kind of finding a stride right now.
We're seeing this just blue chip level state tournament, right? Where you mentioned Southwest and Omaha South and Prep and Miller North and just the who's who of soccer in Omaha. Is this one, or excuse me, the state of Nebraska?
Yeah.
Is this one of the best tournaments from a, obviously hasn't started yet, but from a bracket standpoint that you can remember in recent history?
Yes. Yep. The way I've kind of described it for the last few days is everyone in this tournament belongs, man.
That's a great point.
There's not a team that kind of backdoored their way in because they had a good regular season and they got the wild card, and so they beat some nobody teams. There's just not that. Every team belongs in this tournament. Every team has earned it. I think we all think Prep is the favorite, but I think that those other 7 teams, I don't think there's a ton of difference between 2 and 8. So I truly think we're going to see really, really competitive quarterfinals and then set up for what should be some fabulous semifinals on Friday.
We mentioned Morrison. Obviously, there's a couple of teams from Lincoln making the trip in, South Sioux City making the trip in as well. Do you like the fact that it's always in Omaha, or do you think it should rotate between Omaha and Lincoln, or is it just perfect and leave it alone?
Yeah, it's tough for me. I've covered soccer for 16, 17 years now. It's always been at Morrison.
Yeah.
It's just so great. I mean, the venue is so good. Now, if it got to a point where we split it up and half of it was at UNO and half of it was at Morrison, or if they went on a rotation, I don't see a major issue with that. But I can also get behind the if it ain't broke, don't fix it thing. And Morrison certainly ain't broke, man. It is one of the best. So yeah. I would be totally fine having it there forever.
I want to take a look at the girls' side of things because obviously we're one game in already at the start of, and unfortunately, and again we apologize, we're unable to do a girls' state preview because the fact that it does start on Monday. But Lincoln Southwest holds off Papio 3-2. And win a 4-2 shootout to close out. But obviously a little bit of a scare there for the odds-on favorite to win that whole thing, barely squeaking by the first game.
Yeah, man, Papio was so good today. They really were. And I haven't talked to the Southwest coaches yet. I wasn't down there. I'll be down there tonight. But I would venture to guess they would say the same thing. Papio gave Lincoln Southwest every bit of it. I mean, they had 2 equalizers. They went toe-to-toe with them, really. And honestly, I thought towards the end of regulation and maybe even a period in overtime, Papio was the better team for a while. Southwest gets by the defending champs. I mean, that's what you got to do here sometimes. I remember a long stretch where Lincoln Southwest would lose those games, and the fact that they came out on top, I think, shows you a little bit of that championship grit. And so, yeah,
helps that they won a title a year ago, right?
Absolutely. They've been there. I mean, they won a shootout here last year, so they've been there. Their keeper is probably the best girls keeper in the state, if not the best, one of the best. But they're going to get either a Kearney team that they're very familiar with, or Elkhorn South, who's a really, really quality program here in the Metro. And they're going to have their work cut out for them.
We're catching up with Nick Rubeck of the Omaha World Herald here on the After Hours Lounge. And I want to ask Nick, obviously with this week coming up, is there anything on Omaha.com that people could be excited about to check out, or in the paper that you're working on?
Yeah, we ran a story today about a couple of coaches with a little bit of international flavor. Jovan Sudar from Millard North boys, just an incredible story. He came here and mid 90s. He was a Yugoslavian refugee. And if that's not interesting enough, the dude plays poker on the side. Been in
I was going to ask if he gave you any tips. Yeah, I was going to ask if he gave you any tips. Yeah,
he's been in it 7 times, so that's awesome. And then the Bellevue West girls coach, Alan Carr, who has been just great this year.
Mhm.
He came from England and came here to play at Bellevue University and stayed in Bellevue and coaches the girls, and they're the number 2 team in the state. So those are like the 2 surprise teams, and they're both coached by people with a little bit of international experience. And so I think that's a great story. We have one coming tomorrow about Jordan Nguema, and the thing that excited me most about that was just I reached out to about 4 or 5 different coaches that played him, and just the hearing and seeing the way that they gushed about him was really really cool.
That's Nick Rubeck. You can follow his work at Nick Rubeck, OWH on Twitter, or go subscribe to Omaha.com today. Nick, we appreciate you doing this with us. We'll have to do it more often, man.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. Have a good week.
You too, bud. If you missed any of Nick's segment or want to catch up on the show tonight from maybe the team you support, you may have missed their segment tonight. Check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620. It was brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. If your business needs help with social media marketing, maybe you're not showing up at the top of Google searches or your website's outdated, pixelfiremarketing.com is here to help. To ignite your social media presence, entice your ideal client, and engage your brand online. Check out pixelfiremarketing.com for more details tonight. We'll be right back on the other side of the break, catching up with Tom Hoover. The Creighton Prep Junior Jays are in studio. We come back 1620 The Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Paul Davis Restoration. Listen, seasonal storms are right around the corner. We all know that they're going to be here sooner rather than later. And it's not just damage to your roof. If there's water that seeps in behind your windows, or maybe your house gets flooded because of too much rain, Paul Davis Restoration is here not only to restore your house the way it was before. You know they're going to do that. They're going to remove the mold. They're going to remove the mitigation. They're going to take care of your house and make sure it's ready to go and restored probably even better than the way it was before the storms rolled in. Check out PaulDavisOmaha.com and work with Paul Davis Restoration tonight. On a Monday night edition of the After Hours Lounge brought to you by Bellevue University. Head over to bellevue.edu, register for classes, become a Bruin tonight. We had a little bit of a scheduling conflict, which is why we moved Nick Rubeck up to 6:30, which means we moved the Millard North Mustangs back to 6:45. And Connor Robbins and Carter Weebush join us in studio now. Guys, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Connor, we'll start with you. Vincent gives you that perfect ball. You Pele kick it into the back of the net to get to punch the ticket to stay. What's going through your mind when you stand up and realize that one actually went in?
I didn't know. I didn't even know how to celebrate it. It was just one of those goals. You're like, holy crap!
You can't draw it up any better, right?
Yeah, no, literally.
You guys were in here sort of early on in the season, and I mentioned that you'd scored 7 goals. Well, you just went on and scored 11 more after that. What was behind the goal scoring form this season?
Just believing in the team and knowing my teammates are going to give me that ball, and I'll put it in the back of the net for them. So yeah.
Come up just a little bit short of grabbing the scoring title this season, second in Class A in scoring. Any part of you wish you could have grabbed that number 1 spot?
I mean, yeah, but at the end of the day, as long as we get enough to get the win for the team, that's what matters most. I'd rather get the wins more than goals.
We talked to you about this when you were in earlier as well, kind of an up and down season last year. Now you get the 2 seed in the state tournament. You're the only team that's beaten Creighton Prep this year. I mean, where's the confidence level heading into this tournament?
I mean, we know we can get this done. We know we can battle with any team, but we just have to bring our A game and be ready.
What are you most excited about to get on the pitch tomorrow and finally get into the middle of the tournament?
Just the field to see all the fans and know what we played for and keep fighting.
Have you ever played at Morrison Stadium before?
For club, yeah, but not high school.
Yeah. Well, what are you looking forward to about playing in that facility? I mean, the atmosphere is usually pretty crazy.
Yeah, just the atmosphere and knowing just the feeling of it.
You're a senior. This is your last crack at it. I mean, has that thought process set in yet that this is the last chance to bring home a state title?
Oh, definitely. And I know all of our seniors on our roster is going to bring our all, and we're going to go at it.
What do you think are the keys to victory for your squad throughout this tournament?
Everyone being on the same page, same head, going into it, and yeah.
Carter, we'll go over to you. This is Millard North's first time back in a state tournament since 2016. What does that mean to this 2025 class to be the team that not only gets Millard North to the state title, but also to have such a high seed in this tournament?
It's been awesome. The response from the principal and the AD and just the rest of the school supporting us, it's been amazing. And we're just super excited to play in it.
I asked you about organizing a defense last time you guys were here. How has the backline evolved throughout the season as you see it from back there in the net?
These past couple games, we've conceded very minimal goals, and we're looking to keep on continuing that track into the state tournament, and we just keep growing together and playing well.
What is it about this defense that you guys feel like can travel to Morrison, continue the success? What have you done this year that you think you could stack for 3 more games and win a title with?
It's a ton of a belief in each other and trust in the man in front of you and also the man behind you that he's got your back, and we've just been fighting for each other.
Morrison is a famously large pitch, a lot of space out there. How do you approach the game on such a big field?
I know I need to communicate a ton and do what I can for the guys in front of me and concede minimal chances so that we can get victories.
We're catching up with Connor Robbins and Carter Weebush of the Millard North Mustangs boys soccer program here on After Hours. When we talk about the first time walking out onto that pitch, what are you most excited about to walk into Morrison, stand in the box, and take a look around about?
Excited for the atmosphere and just that beautiful stadium, and to getting to play in front of all those people and all the great fans.
What do you think? Obviously, it's a state tournament, so it's win or go home, right? But is there anything a little bit more special about this time of year for you?
I mean, it's coming to the end for me in high school. So actually, on the way here, I don't know if you guys seen the movie Miracle on Ice.
Oh yeah,
me and Connor were listening to that famous speech, and it got us pretty excited for this tournament and just make things happen.
You guys haven't played South Sioux City this season. You draw them in the first round. Is there any advantage from a defensive standpoint to seeing this team for the first time tomorrow?
I wouldn't necessarily say there's an advantage, but we watched some film on them, so we kind of got the good feel for them, and we're feeling confident.
What the hell are the Steelers doing at quarterback?
I don't know. I found the shirt for $1 at Goodwill.
There you go. That's about where they found their
I don't know
quarterback
much
at
about
as well.
Steelers.
That is the Millard North Mustangs. They will be in action tomorrow against South Sioux City. If you missed their segment, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620. It was brought to you by Controlled Comfort Heating and Air. If you're looking for a new career, maybe you're an HVAC expert, check out controlledcomfort.com. They're hiring for all positions right now. And if you're looking for a new career, Controlled Comfort is the best in town for a reason. Work for the best, enjoy the best. It's Controlled Comfort. We'll be right back. Catch up with the Creighton Prep Junior Jays and their head coach Tom Hoover on the other side of the break. 16:20 in the zone.
It's all about the game and how you play it. It's all about control.
Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Pepper Jack's Grill. There's 10 great locations throughout the Omaha area. And it's not just Phillies. It's not just rice bowls. It's not just salads anymore. They've added some new side items to the menu. That's right. They've got onion rings. They've got jalapeno poppers. And they've got Midwestern-style cheese curds. Stop by Pepper Jack's tonight. Grab dinner and fill up. Top of the second hour here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. You don't become number one in Omaha for over a decade by accident. Check out pyramidroof.com to get a free estimate today on your roof, your windows, your gutters, your siding. They do it all. Check out pyramidroof.com tonight. The head coach of the Omaha Creighton Prep Junior Jays, Tom Hoover, joins us in studio. Tim Dowden, Brody Breaky. Guys, thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Don, Jimmy, Dan.
Coach, only one blemish on the record this entire season. How does the loss to Millard North earlier in the year help this team and state?
For sure, I know that it recalibrated a bit.
Sure.
I think we started to believe the press clippings that we were as good as the prognosticators were saying prior to the season. Like, this is the best whatever prep team in decades,
sure,
millennia, whatever. And getting that loss certainly was kind of corrected us back to a humility that we needed to have.
Mm-hmm.
And I think from there we just realized no one's fallible. We're all fallible. There's no team that's infallible, and that made us realize on any given day. So it was actually the best thing that could have happened to us, to be honest.
Awesome.
Along those lines, when you get to this part of the year, there are obviously certain things that keep coaches up at night. What for you, when you get to the state tournament, are the most important things to keep in mind?
Well, I don't want to be glib, but rarely am I kept up at night by soccer. This is
Sure.
just, I mean, I love coaching, but there are other things in my life that occupy my time. And so, it's mostly just making sure the guys are having a good experience and they're taking care of their grades. We have a lot of final exams around this time. And are we maintaining good sportsmanship and good conduct? And the seniors are gone now. So are they doing the right things to stay really connected to the school? And so not much. I don't roister a lot at night in my bed thinking about that, but
I want to go back to the comment about the press clippings,
Please.
because of all the time you spend on social media. I wanted to get your thoughts.
You've seen my flip phone.
Because we live in the day and age where press clippings aren't just read on Sundays anymore; they're readily available at guys' fingertips. Is that something that's tough for you to manage, especially when we talk about expectations and things like that?
For our players, you're asking? Well,
yeah.
yes. So I probably would be asked many times about one Jordan Aguenma.
He's pretty good.
I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
And I probably like to deflect a bit from the light that's been on him. He
Sure.
he deserves everything that comes his way. But standing with me are two young men who deserve as much of the spotlight. Brody has been a starter for 3 years now. Timmy has been for his second year, and they're as equally important to the team. So not that Jordan deserve it, but the press clippings, I just tell him to stay off it, but that's not going to work.
Well, let's talk to Tim and get his thoughts. Tim Dowd is with us as well. Just 3 goals scored on the season, but 13 points and third on this team in assists in that category as well. Why is it such a big deal for you to be able to involve your other teammates and help them score goals as well?
I trust my teammates, and I think we have dangerous players up top who can get the job done. So I just want to make them better, and I trust them in those situations around goal.
You're chasing back-to-back state titles. I'm sure the first one was pretty sweet, but what would a second one mean to you personally?
I mean, it would mean a lot. It's just so fun to be around my friends playing soccer. The stuff I love to do. I mean, that just, we can prove everyone who said we were that good at the beginning of the season, and that means a lot to me.
What's the difference about this year's team than last year's team?
I think this year's team is a lot more focused, and like we want it very bad. I mean, all of our practices for the most part have been really focused, and we go at each other every day.
I think your head coach might have disagreed with you about the focus thing, by the way. Just throw that out there.
Since you've been there before, I'll ask you, what's it like to play at Morrison Stadium?
It's so fun. Being around all those fans, I mean, at our home games.
Oh, do prep fans travel well?
They do. We really appreciate all the support we get, and we love to be there. It's so much fun. That's the highlight of our season.
What are you looking forward to the most about tomorrow?
I'm looking forward just to proving why we're the 1 seed, leaving no doubt on the field, and we don't want to show anyone our weaknesses or if we have any.
We'll go back over to Brody. Tim, thanks for joining us tonight. Brody, for you, what's the difference for you personally in walking to Morrison Stadium this year compared to a year ago? What's different for you tomorrow?
I think just, being a senior. Last year I was a junior, so walking in, I always knew I had next year, and even as a sophomore, I had 2 years to come. But this year, it's my last run before playing next year at UNO. So I think just leaving it all in the field and doing it for my friends, it's pretty big for me.
This time of year, so much excitement. I'm sure more than a little anxiety for the one and done nature of the state tournament. What are you doing to stay focused and stay in the moment?
Just practice every day, coming into practice. I've been the tail end of some yellings from not just from Mr. Hoover but my brother as well.
Yeah.
Just trying to stay focused on the team, making sure that we're all focused for the game, showing up on tomorrow, and just leaving it all on the field.
You mentioned it. You're on to UNO. How much was it a big deal for you to kind of get that decision out of the way early and maybe focus on some more of those yellings rather than making a decision about college?
Yeah. UNO was great. I had some stuff with Creighton, but that didn't end very well. But I have all the respect for Johnny and that team. But just going to UNO and having Ed there as an assistant coach, he was at prep.
Sure.
That made my decision so much easier, and just talking to him, I love that guy. So having him on the sideline is going to help me a lot.
You mentioned your brother, and Ryan obviously played at Creighton. How vital was his advice in choosing the right school for you?
I talk to him every day about making the decision. He was just like, you got to know what you want. You got to pick a good school first and foremost. And UNO's that. And then focusing on the soccer second. But even focusing on the soccer second, UNO is really good. They've done really well under Coach Dowling. So, I'm super excited about that.
You mentioned it. It's the last time you get a crack at a state championship. Has that been weighing on your mind?
Absolutely, yeah.
What would it mean to you not only to win back-to-back, but for the class of 2025 to walk off with a state title?
I mean, you don't really want to say it, but winning 3 in a row.
Sure.
It's never been done in Class A. So I think I have a lot of buddies on Scott, and knowing they won 5, I want to do that. I want to win 3, and it's really, really
maybe
important.
start the run to 6, possibly. You can't get 6 unless you win 3, right?
Hopefully Timmy can follow up.
Absolutely.
All right.
Brody, thanks for being here tonight, man. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. Coach, we'll go back over to you to wrap this up. We're talking to Tim Hoover, the head coach of the Creighton Prep Junior Jays, joining us in the studio here. How does this team win another one? What do they have to do?
I would like to say probably that sometimes luck's involved. But
Sure.
confidence is never an issue for this team. So just maintaining that sense of it's available to us, we could do it. But we know Millard North is quite capable. We know that Papio South is capable. We know all the schools are capable. So we have great respect for everybody in the field. So it's possible, but it's worth the effort, and it's not going to be easy.
Well, we were talking a little bit before we came on here. You've been doing this since '97, is that right?
Correct. I'm a head coach since '97.
What keeps you coming back?
These guys. I mean, I'm very blessed to be at Creighton Prep. I love teaching, and I just love being with high school people who make me laugh every day and challenge me and remind me why life is really a gift.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but Brody did.
Yeah, what's up?
We're talking about history, the possibility of 3 in a row. Is that something that you've thought about?
It's like a pitcher, though no hitter, who you don't talk to.
That's why I wasn't going to say it. But so if you guys don't win state, blame Brody. It's his fault.
Absolutely. And I never yelled at him, to be honest, Brody. It was just a stern reminder of a better way to be.
All right.
There you go, Coach. We appreciate your time. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being with us. That was the number 1 seed, the Junior Jays of Creighton Prep. Their head coach, Tom Hoover, Tim Dowd, and Brody Brakey. If you guys missed it, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours. 1620 was brought to you by Controlled Comfort Heating and Air. If you're looking for a new job, Controlled Comfort is hiring, whether you're a seasoned HVAC experience employee or if you're looking for a new career, want to start off with the HVAC experience, you could do it at Controlled Comfort. Head over to controlledcomfort.com tonight. Work with Tony and the crew. We'll be right back. Catching up with the Lincoln Southwest boys soccer team on the other side of the break. 1620 The Zone.
Come on now.
Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Bob Williams with Williams Law. You hear Bob in here every week talking about the NCAA versus the House settlement, big legal issues facing the sporting world. You don't have to be a large entity like the NCAA to work with a lawyer the caliber of Bob Williams. Maybe your son or daughter's in a little bit of trouble and you need some advice. Bob and his team are going to sit you down and give you a free, no obligation legal consultation to explain your rights, walk you through the process, and get you ready for your big day in court. Head over to WilliamsLawLLC.com. Work with Bob and his team tonight.
Wait, hold on. That's exactly what I said.
What you know about that? What you know about that? What you know about that? Hey, don't you know I got
7:15 on a Monday night edition of the After Hours Lounge, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. Over a decade of being number one in Omaha doesn't happen by accident. Head over to PyramidRoof.com. Book a free estimate for your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding. They do it all. Check out PyramidRoof.com tonight. We're joined not in studio, but over StreamYard by Noah Rakowski and Landon Holmberg. Guys, thanks. We appreciate you joining us here tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Obviously, Lincoln Southwest, your guys' team is on to state. Noah, you guys draw Omaha South in the opening round. You saw them a few weeks ago, unfortunately, in a 3-1 loss. How does playing a team for the second time help in game 2?
Yeah, I mean, we know their tendencies now, so I don't know. I think we're prepared, and we've watched a bunch of film over them, so I don't know. We're kind of ready to go at them again in the state tournament under the lights, so it'll be a good atmosphere for us.
Noah, you were named Lincoln Southwest Player of the Year. Where does that rank for you in terms of personal accomplishments?
I mean, honestly, it's all up to my teammates. Like, without them, I wouldn't have been put in that placement. So, I mean, yeah, it's a good award, but there's a lot better awards I'd rather have in this state tournament. So
you don't rub it in Landon's face at all?
Not at all.
What were your personal goals before the season started, and how did that kind of change as the year went on?
I mean, honestly, it was just to win every trophy we could, and we said it in our team meeting right at the start. It's on the table for us this year, and it's kind of open. So, I mean, we've done it so far, and we got one more to chase after. So,
state runner-up a year ago. Why do you think the final outcome for this team might be different than last year?
Obviously, we've dropped a couple of games this year, so we know what it feels like, and we don't want to do that, or we don't want to do that again. So I think everybody's just going to be ready to go, and we're going to give it our best shot no matter what.
You got your commitment out of the way early. You're off to Concordia. Why was Concordia the right school for you?
Yeah, I went on a visit, and it just felt like home right away. I mean, went on a visit a couple other places, and yeah, they were nice, but Concordia it felt like home, and talked with the coach a bunch, and it's going to be a great fit.
We're going to talk to we're catching up with the Lincoln Southwest boys soccer team, and we'll talk to Landon for a second. Landon, a runner-up a year ago, like John just mentioned, when you were the number 1 overall seed, you guys have been super beat up this year and injured. You guys think it's an advantage for you maybe not to have the number 1 overall seed this year?
Yeah, I actually do, because coming into last year's, I mean, we didn't experience that loss. We didn't really have to have that resilience where I think we've had this year. I mean, battling injuries, battling tough games, it gives you a kind of an edge that I think last year we were missing. So I think having that kind of almost a poor season in our standards this year might actually help us in the long run, just with resilience and our ability to scrap through games. And I think at the state tournament, anybody can beat anybody, and it's really about the mentality. And I think this year's mentality, I think, triumphs even last year's.
Along those same lines, making it all the way to the state title game last year, what did you take away from that experience, and how does it impact your approach this year?
Honestly, I think the state tournament and districts and postseason as a whole, I mean, it's a completely different season. I mean, I don't let the fact that we were 17 or whatever undefeated going into postseason last year affect how I play. I don't let the fact that we're 5 games lost this year affect it as well. Once we get into that postseason, it's all about your form. Anybody can beat anybody. So I really think that this year, just the understanding that you can be the number 1 seed, you can win out, and then you can lose to the team that, I mean, we beat 3-0 in the final. It doesn't matter at the end of the year. You have to win the games and when it matters in the postseason.
When you face the adversity that you guys have this year, there tend to be some learning moments. What have you learned about yourself as a soccer player this year because of the adversity you guys have had to face?
I think you really realize that as much as you have your personal skills and your personal goals and ambitions, you really have to rely on your team. And having a team that has a really strong backing and commitment to each other and belief, I think we found that in the times that we've had lots of injuries or adversities or playing games right after one another, that if you have that team that believes in one another and stays positive with each other, that you can accomplish things and you can get through those really tough times and adversaries.
So, Landon, I saw you putting some social media love on Lamine Yamal. And for those of you who don't know, Lamine Yamal's 17 years old, plays for the Spanish national team, plays for Barcelona. And I can't blame you. I mean, he's incredible. And somebody at that age doing what he's doing, how does that make you think about your game?
It's honestly incredible to think that a kid a year younger than you is out here performing at the top level and just dropping, 40 goals and assists in a year is incredible. But it really is a humbling experience. And I'd like to attest the fact that I went to Spain a few times, and I played with the league academy teams, and just the level out there, it really humbles you in a sense. And I think that that's helped me as a player, just to realize that, you might be one of the better in like your neck of the woods, but there's so much out there, and it's a motivation. That's really all it is. That's
Awesome.
Use it as.
We talked to Noah about his next decision going off to college. Do you know what's next for you after high school?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think I'm hanging up the boots in terms of competitive play. I've always kind of had drives academically, and soccer was an option, but I've decided I think I'm just going to go to UNL. I got into School of Computing Honors, so I'm going to work with data science and do a double major with data science and mathematics. So,
yeah, great.
On the game, I hope to coach after my year of absence and come back to Southwest. So.
Well, what does tomorrow mean to you then personally to be able to step on the field at Morrison for the last time?
Yeah, I told the guys this in one of our meetings postseason before districts that everything now is incredibly personal to me. I've played for 13, 14 years now, and I've been to Morrison. This will be my 4th time going to Morrison. And the fact that, your freshman, sophomore, and junior year, there's always next year, but I don't have that opportunity this year. So, I mean, just knowing that in the back of your head that at the end of the day, I mean, this is my next loss is my last soccer game. So that's really motivating in a sense because I want to let it last as long as possible. I don't want to let go.
We're catching up with the Lincoln Southwest boys soccer team, and fortunately, their head coach just had a baby, so he's not with us tonight. But we are talking to Noah Rakowski and Landon Holberg. Noah, back to you for a minute. When you think about it, and obviously your soccer career is going to continue, do you think you'll be able to appreciate in the moment when you walk onto the field at Morrison tomorrow that it is senior year and this is the last crack at a state title?
Yeah, I mean, just like Landon said, even though I do have Concordia still waiting for me, I mean, it's my last time putting on a Southwest jersey possibly. So we're going to not make sure that happens. We're going to do our best to keep going and make that last game a win for us.
Same question for both of you guys. Noah, we'll start with you. What does this team have to do to win a state title in your opinion?
We just got to trust in each other. I mean, that's been our motto all year. It's just been if you can look to your left and right and that those are your brothers and that they're going to battle with you, that's just what we got to do. And we got to lean on each other and just play to our full potential.
Landon, you have to have a different answer, though.
Yeah,
how does this team win a state championship?
The importance for us is to kind of rely back on the season as a whole. I mean, we've had games where we've been in control, we've cruised, we've scored goals. We've had games where we've been behind, we've had to battle back and equalize or get the winning goal. So just having all those tools in our locker and all those experiences is kind of what I attested to earlier. I think almost having this poor season is definitely a strength for us. And I think we can use that and recall kind of those experiences in order to help us. Because whatever happens tomorrow, we have kind of a game plan of how we can fix that or how we can go from there. And I think that's the most important part tomorrow.
We mentioned it's a little bit of a drive for you guys to make the drive to 50, the Dodge here in Omaha. So you guys are at somebody's house. Who drew the short stick? How did you guys decide who was going to have to host tonight?
We're actually kind of at a neutral site. So it's my aunt's house. We had a team dinner before this, and it got too rowdy there. So she was right down the street. So we texted her and said, can we just borrow your house for a little bit? So,
what's your aunt's name?
Kim.
Shout out to Aunt Kim. Aunt Kim, thanks for hosting tonight, guys. Congratulations on all the success and good luck for the rest of the tournament. We'll maybe talk to you guys after a state title.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good
That's
rest
the link. You too, buddy. That's the Lincoln Southwest boys soccer team. If you missed their segment tonight, check it out at soundcloud.com/after-hours1620 was brought to you by Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. It's wedding season. And if you don't have the ideal suit experience picked out yet, you need to stop by 78th and Dodge. I got dressed for my wedding there. Dan Campen got dressed for his wedding there. You could be the best dressed groom this spring by stopping by Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear, 78th and Dodge. They've been dressing Omaha for over 50 years. We're catching up with the Omaha Westside boys soccer team on the other side of the break, 1620 the zone.
Hello, Night Shift. It is your silent man in the background, Dan Campen here. Once again, to remind you, the Pepper Jacks has 10 great local locations where I personally get my state gunner Philly, which is the perfect accoutrement to all of our state soccer talk tonight. And hey, there's one right downtown. So Pepper Jacks is as close to the stadium as you can get. If you want to be just like Dan Campen, watch a little bit of soccer and get your Pepper Jacks tonight.
Grown ups. In between.
7:29 on a Monday night here at 62 The Zone, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. You don't become #1 in Omaha for over a decade by accident. Head over to pyramidroof.com. Book a free estimate for your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding. They do it all. Check out pyramidroof.com tonight. The Omaha West Side boys soccer team now joins us in studio. Their head coach, Mike Dean, has brought Ellis Oxman and Cody Meyerson with him tonight. Coach, thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
You guys make the tournament a year ago, but go one and done in the first round. Can that experience a year ago benefit this team?
I think so. I thought helped us prepare better, helped us more have a level head. I thought last year not only was Papillion South extremely prepared for us, but I thought we kind of looked past them with prep on deck, I should say. So,
sure.
No, and of course every year the experience I think kicks over for the staff, and then obviously for the players that played last year.
The back line has been absolutely locked down late in the season. What can you attribute that to?
We had a difficult Metro tournament, so we had to come together as a team and focus on the next 5 games, which is the last 5 games of the season, and just took one game at a time, one half at a time. But I think that mid break at Metro just gave us a lot to look at ourselves in, and what do we need to improve on, and what's going to get us back to state where we're at now.
Well, that has led you to winning out at the end of the year. What does this team have to do to keep that momentum, in your opinion?
I have the guys play a certain style that takes some time. We play on a narrow field at Phelps. Going to Morrison, it's a different field. It's
a little
big,
bit,
right? And how can we maintain that same style that we've been honing down on for the last 4 or 5 weeks? How can we just take that to a bigger stadium, and at the same time, there's going to be a lot of fans there, and how can we just keep a composure when things get tight, and then can we finish our opportunities when we get them?
What are the things you try to hammer into the guys at this time of year when you get to the state tournament
that you could say on air?
Oh, I guess I told them the story the other day. Is I'm trying to take my hands off the steering wheel a little bit and put it more in their hands than mine. A lot of the coaching we've already done by now. It's time for senior leadership and execution. They know what we want out of them. I'm a pretty Dutch possession oriented guy.
Mm-hmm.
So we look to play that style, but we'll also look at our opponents on their positives and their negatives. How can we exploit them, and probably things that we need to be concerned about what they do.
Well, let's talk to a couple of those guys that are going to help you exploit those things. Ellis Oxman joins us in studio as well. We know you could score it, but you're second on this team in assists as well. What is exciting about it for you to help your other teammates put one through the net?
Yes, sir. Assisting is obviously a huge part of the game. You need to link up, and obviously Miles Oxman, our leading scorer or leading assister, and my younger brother helps me, get those goals. So I always want to try to return the favor, whether that's, to him, to our other midfielders, even to our center back, Everest, on some set pieces that he's been scoring on lately.
They pay you to say their names on the radio?
No, they did not, but I like my guys, and I like them to know that we're all here and we're all in this together.
You all owe him $5. Go ahead, John.
Jimmy alluded to it. You're on quite a scoring run. You scored in 11 straight, multiple goals in 3 of your last 4. What's been working so well for you?
Yeah, so we actually do meetings with a coach that we call the Wizard, and we've done a lot of visualization and meditation. So I think that's honestly been the key to my success, and I think our continued success in these last 11 games is visualizing and then going out and performing.
The mental side is so big.
Absolutely.
Not just the last 11. This is your final state tournament as well. You're a senior. What will it be like for you to walk into Morrison tomorrow for the last time for the first day of a state tournament?
Yes, sir. It's going to be great. A great experience. That's why, I wanted to play with the West Side, play with these guys, play with Mike Dean. It's going to be an amazing experience that I think we're all ready for. We're all super tight knit right now, and obviously firing on all cylinders.
Well, since you brought up mentality, let's go there. We often hear the phrase goal scorer's mentality. What does that mean to you, and how do you embody it?
Yes, sir. To me, it means confidence. If you don't have confidence, it's not going to go in. If you don't think it's going to go in, it's not going to go in. If you're not in the right spot, it's not going to go in. So you got to have all those things, and you got to just be brave.
Coach, you didn't have any polite players you could have brought with you. He's calling us sir after every question. Ellis, thanks, man. Good luck tomorrow and through the rest of the tournament. Cody, we'll go over to you for a minute. Cody Meyerson is with us as well tonight. What is the difference about this defense from a year ago?
Wow. I'd say last year was definitely a great defense. I'd say this year, honestly, is a step up. We've had many shutouts, basically as many as last year. We're very developed. We stay 1-2 touch style. We passed to the back really well, played up to Ellis and the rest of our teammates. We're very well developed, and we all stick together, as a group. And like Ellis said, the visualization is also a big part. Shutouts is kind of, my thing. What I visualize before games, after
good
games,
thing to have, by the way.
Exactly, yeah. So we kind of just keep that mentality through it all.
Well, since you're a defender, we'll keep it there. 2 goals allowed in the last 7 games, 5 shutouts, which you mentioned, all the shutouts. Is there a key that you can point to that has been a reason for all the late success for the back line?
I'd say just, teamwork, leadership through not only seniors, but, from our freshmen up till our coaching staff, everyone is part of this together. I just say working together, again, teamwork, like I mentioned, and, we all just strive for greatness. We all strive to, be one. And that's kind of just our motto.
It showed in the rotation too, because both Lucas and Keelan have both played in every game this season. How much does that kind of affect your guys' defense by having a different voice in the back there throughout the game?
I would say it affects us pretty minimal. Both keepers we love, to death, and we don't have a problem with either of them being in. They're both, of course, part of the team in every way possible, and we think that it's great that they also have the experience to have no goals behind them in the past, or 5 of the 7 games, and they're both the loudest on the team, and we love them so much.
State tournament's obviously a different atmosphere than regular season play. How do you keep it level and even keel? What do you focus on?
Well, I have the same pregame ritual every game. I'm gonna keep that to myself, but I think also visualization, like Ellis and I have both said, that's key for me. I've learned a lot through the Wizard that we both mentioned, and then just the warm up starts with the warm up. We make sure that our mentality, even before the warm up, pre warm up, on the bus ride or the car ride over, that everyone's focused and everyone has that mentality that we're going to go into this game each half. It's 3 games: the first half, second half, and then the full game itself. So we really focus on that, and then starts with the warm up, and then we kind of just all go in like, this is our game. We're going to come out on top.
Well, we now know why Westside's been so successful at so many sports. They got a freaking wizard. Hey, Cody, for you, we mentioned you're a senior, but what does life after high school look like for you?
After high school, I'm planning on attending Elon University, North Carolina.
Okay. Why?
So yeah, I'm gonna continue my soccer career there as well.
Oh, okay, very cool. And Ellis, we didn't ask you. You don't mind grabbing the microphone real quick? What's next for you after Westside?
Yes, sir. Yeah, so I'm looking to play college ball, uncommitted right now,
Sure.
but still talking to schools from many divisions and hoping to make that decision soon.
Well, good luck with that, and good luck at state. Coach, we'll go back over to you to wrap this up. And we're catching up with the Omaha Westside Warriors boys soccer team. Their head coach Mike Dean is in studio with us. What does this team have to do to bring home a state championship?
Oh, it's a loaded question in a way. Well, execution, is going to be a key. And when you get to the state tournament, you need to have a little bit of luck, but you need to finish your opportunities when you get the looks on them. And I've can probably go back to a few games in the past that, hey, if this player finished this shot or this guy made this save, how much that game would have changed. I think just right now at this state of play, everything's so minimal. Every play is going to be a big deal tomorrow for every team that's participating.
That was a great play on words, by the way.
Yeah.
The state and play.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, you're talking state title. I'm just thinking about tomorrow.
Sure.
So I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We talk about how we have we're in a 5-game season and we're in game 3. So we got to finish the game 3 to get to game 4.
Well, good luck in game 3 tomorrow. That's Mike Dean, the head coach of the Omaha Westside boys soccer team. If you missed the Warriors segment tonight, check it out at soundcloud.com/afterhours1620. It was brought to you by AX Plumbing. Home or residential, they can do it all. Check out axbservice.com for all your plumbing, water heater, gas piping, or backflow prevention issues. AX Plumbing is locally owned and operated. They'll leave your home or business cleaner than they found it. We'll be right back with the Lincoln Southeast boys soccer team to wrap up the show here on 1620 The Zone.
I said, give me 2 pearls. I need you.
Hey, everybody. John Schreiner here for Cunningham's Pub. We do it every week, Wing Wednesday. We're doing it again this week. You can get a $25 gift card to the Blackstone location. All you got to do is press that little retweet button on your Twitter device. Yep, we're going to tweet out the gift for the wings. You retweet that, your name is entered into a drawing for a $25 gift card. You can get the great smoked wings from Cunningham's for free. Get yourself the 4-alarm. That one's really good. The blueberry sriracha, that's a favorite here on the After Hours Lounge. Any of the great flavors of wings at Cunningham's, you are going to love them. The entire menu is great. Plus, you can stop in and get all the best in local brews. Stop by the Blackstone location, now with the parking garage right across the street. It's Cunningham's Pub and Grill.
Wrapping up the last segment of our Class A soccer showcase here on the After Hours Lounge, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. You know, become the #1 roofer in Omaha for over a decade by accident. Check out pyramidroof.com to book a free estimate for your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding. They do it all. Check out pyramidroof.com. Now joining us via Skype tonight is Marco Sappi, in the Lincoln Southeast head soccer coach. Marco, thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Coach, let's take a look back at this season. 13-3 on the year, coming to the state, riding an 8-game win streak. What's going right for this team at the end of the year?
Yeah, I think a ton of things have really gone right for us the whole season. I think our defense has been really solid. I think the teamwork and leadership of the entire team has been really, really solid. And like you said, this this 8-game win streak is probably one of the longest we've maybe ever had in program history, and we hope to keep it going.
You guys had your season end a year ago, losing to the same Westside team that you're going to see on Tuesday. What do you expect to be different this time around? Because you haven't seen them yet this year.
Yeah, I talked a little bit about our leadership. I think everyone has really stepped up, and even though we may have graduated some really talented players, I think that this team has shown that we're capable of playing with anyone, and we're pretty excited to get to play Westside after what happened to us last year, and we look forward to the game on Tuesday.
You guys punched your ticket to state by beating another state participant in Papillion South. How much does beating a team that is in this tournament already give you guys confidence heading into this tournament?
I think anytime you want to prove yourself, you have to beat the best in order to show that you are the best. And I think that drawing Papio South was pretty intimidating at first, but I think that we gave them a pretty good game and ended up coming out on top. And we look forward to maybe playing them again or playing Creighton Prep in the semifinal.
You mentioned the graduates from a year ago, but you have 9 seniors on this team this year. What does the class of 2025 mean to you personally?
I think every year it gets a little bit tougher to know that these are the last few weeks of the season. And having been lucky enough to coach some of these guys for the past 2 or 3 years has really been a blessing, not just for me personally, but professionally as a coach. Getting to spend a lot of time with these guys at practice and on road trips and getting to watch them compete in some of the biggest games that I've ever coached and maybe that they've ever played in has been really special. And I think that there's not enough to be said about all the guys on the roster.
Speaking of road trips, this one's going to be a road trip for you guys, hopefully more than one. But you guys get to come up to Morrison and Omaha to play on Creighton University's campus. How much have you guys thought about what travel looks like or what the next couple of days look like preparing for that bus trip into Omaha?
I think the last couple of years we've actually had to travel quite a bit. I think that looking at this year, the Kearney trip, kind of in the middle of our season, could have been the make or break moment. And even though we lost in overtime to a good Kearney team, I think that we used that as a little bit extra motivation, and we haven't lost since. So.
What's been the highlight of this season for you personally? Is it punching your ticket to state, or was there something else?
I think even me personally didn't really expect the season to be this successful. I think a lot of people were expecting us to maybe be hovering around 500 in terms of win percentage, maybe struggling a little bit after graduating some of our best players last year. But I think the highlight has been, even from the first week of the season after we lost to Millard West, just recognizing that we could play with anybody in this state, and we look forward to proving it again on Tuesday.
And all of that success is due to coaching, right?
I wish I could take a lot of the credit for that, but I've told the guys from the beginning, like, hopefully we do enough at practice and in the classroom to prepare them for the games, but once we get to the games, it's 99.9% on the guys on the field and the guys in the locker room to execute.
Let's talk to some of that 99% then. Elijah Solis is with us as well. Elijah, Jaden Fullerton puts in the back of the net in the 72nd minute to send you guys to state. What was that? What was the emotion on the field like in that moment?
So, honestly, when he first scored, I was looking around to see if there's like a flag or a whistle, just because it was such an intense game. I didn't really believe it at first, but once we finally had confirmation that it was a goal, we went and celebrated with the team. It was just a surreal moment, you know, coming back, hyping up the fans. I had confidence after that just because how good defensively our backline was playing all game, that I saw that goal go in. I kind of knew that we were probably going to win that game. And
yeah, the game wasn't even over, right? You still had 18 minutes to go. What was the message in the huddle when you guys huddle up after that goal?
We're just like, let's finish this out, you know, like as Marco said, just having some perspective. We didn't think this season was going to go as well as it did, and we have a shot to make state, and we didn't want to mess that up at all. So now that we had that goal, we had that lead, we were just like no nonsense defending and working together as a team just to finish it out.
You play in the middle of the defense, but you had the assist against Columbus to help put the game away. What was that moment like for you personally?
I mean, it was a great finish by Jaden, and that kind of secured us hosting a district, which it was another surreal moment, you know, just given how the season has gone, the fact that we were hosting a district after winning that game. It was just, I was just proud of the team, proud of Jaden too, because he's really stepped up this year as a goal scorer.
We just kind of talked about this with Coach a minute ago, but obviously a big travel day for you guys on Monday to be able to come up to Omaha. What are you looking forward to the most about playing at Morrison Stadium, maybe even more specifically in the state tournament?
I mean, definitely just the atmosphere. You know, I was there my freshman year. I didn't see the field as much, but just like being like in the stadium in general and watching state the past few years, just the atmosphere is like none other. I think in the country, Nebraska's got to have some of the best state soccer like anywhere. And playing at Morrison is just, it's a great feeling.
How much of the Solis family is going to be in attendance for this one?
Definitely my sister, my parents, and I think my sister from college is even driving from Kansas to come watch. So
very cool. Speaking of college, have you? I mean, obviously you've got one more year to go. You're just a junior at Southeast, but what does life after high school look like for you?
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to play soccer after college. I've started the recruitment process a little bit as I became a junior this year, but yeah, I think continuing to play after high school is a really big goal of mine for sure.
What's the dream school?
I mean,
Creighton. We don't want to alienate anybody, but just
yeah, I know. I mean, Creighton would be a dream, but like, there's so many good schools around here. There's so much college talent around here that you really can't go wrong.
Coach Torres listens to this show, so hopefully he heard that and is going to make a phone call.
All right.
Good luck on Tuesday, Elijah. Thanks for your time. We'll go over to Cole. Cole McCarty joins us as well. For you, Cole, I mean, Coach talked about this defense, and you're obviously a big part of that. 1 goal given up in the last 6 games. Other than the great goalkeeping, obviously, what has been so good about this defense down the stretch?
I believe it's just how tight we have of a group of guys. We have our main center backs, and we have the guys that come off the bench who rotate in, and we have guys who could play center back, they could play outside back, they could play midfield. Just having that amount of guys do that much stuff is really good. And then obviously credit to my other goalkeeper, Dylan. He's been having a great season himself too, and just being able to work with him before games and just talking with each other at halftime, what went well, what can we do better, just really think solidified our defense.
Talk to me about that relationship with Dylan, and how much does that kind of give you a little bit of ease if you do have to come off the pitch, that there's a guy that you could trust that's obviously put in the work as well to be able to fill in, and you don't really have to worry about the defense kind of losing a beat?
Yeah, well, I honestly feel like it's the opposite way around. I feel like Dylan's had a great season, and we have a thing that our moms actually made a shirt covering our faces with the Step Brothers photo. I don't know if you
nice. Okay.
But they call us the Step Brothers of the team. So I feel like just having a good bond with another great goalkeeper and having defense and a whole team that can play with both me and Dylan on the field, and it's pretty much a seamless transition. I feel like it's great to be able to have both of us.
We might have to get the last name on your jersey changed to Nighthawk so you could truly be one of the Step Brothers. You had three pretty big saves where you kind of had to elevate and make a play against Columbus. And we obviously just talked to Elijah about how important that game was. What's it like when you see that the ball handler beats the defense, you're in a one-on-one situation and you're able to make that play? Everybody wants to talk about the residual effect where you miss it. What does that feel like? What does it feel like when you actually are able to either get your hands on the ball or deflect it?
Well, I feel like it's just a part of the game. I always pride myself on trying to play on the next play. So once the play's over, it's over, no matter if it goes in, if it goes out for a corner, or I do catch it fully. I feel like just worried about that next play is a good focus to have. And, my defense, I feel like they can always hawk the man down. So I'm always trusting if they ever do get beat, just to come back and stick a leg in between and get a block on it.
You and Dylan are both seniors, 12 shutouts between the two of you. What would it mean to the class of 2025 as a whole to win this whole tournament and be state champions?
Well, I feel like our class alone, it's been pretty rough going to state. We went to state 2 years ago, but that freshman year, junior year didn't really get past that district final mark. But I feel like even just not just for the class of 2025, but for the entire team and the entire school, it'd be a big accomplishment. And I hope we could get there.
We asked Elijah about this. We'll ask you, what does life after high school look like for you? Because you got to make that decision here the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I've made that decision. I'm going to go to I'm not going to play soccer, but I'm going to St. Louis University in Madrid.
Okay. Why St. Louis?
Well, I'm majoring in international business, and they have a satellite campus out in Madrid, Spain. So, the best way to get to international business is if I truly go international.
Sure.
So, trying to accommodate to that life. It's been a lot of trying to get my visa done and stuff like that.
Sure.
But, I feel like it's gonna hopefully go well, and
try not to miss the snow too much.
I will not miss it a single bit.
That's awesome, man. Well, congratulations on the decision, and good luck with all the travel and all that. And obviously, good luck in the tournament coming up. Coach, we'll go back over to you to kind of wrap this thing up. And we're catching up with Marco Sapien, the head coach of the Lincoln Southeast soccer team here on the After Hours show. Coach, for you personally, what would it mean to be able to bring a state championship back to Lincoln?
I think Lincoln Southeast has a pretty storied history in terms of being an athletic powerhouse. And you think about the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, and our program hasn't won a game at state since 2005. So I think it'd be pretty poetic if we won a game later and then had another one kept going, try to bring home. I think it's like the 130th state championship for Lincoln Southeast. So it'd be pretty special.
Coach, well, good luck on Monday and good luck for the rest of the week if you guys are able to advance. Thank you for your time today. We appreciate you wrapping up the show with us.
Thanks a lot. Good talking to you.
That's the Lincoln Southeast boys soccer team and their head coach, Marco Sapien. If you missed any of the night segment tonight, check it out at SoundCloud.com/AfterHours1620 was brought to you by Allo Business. Allo Business is taking your company out of the Stone Age and giving you the technical support you need in 2025, whether it be voice solutions, TV solutions, any problems you have. Maybe the cybersecurity your company doesn't have can be fixed at allobusiness.com. You don't have to worry about dealing with somebody overseas for your technical support. When you pick up the phone or head over to allobusiness.com, you're going to get a real-life 24/7 customer support specialist right here in Nebraska. Check out allobusiness.com tonight. That's going to wrap it for us here on the After Hours Lounge with Dan Camden and John Schreiner. I've been Jimmy Allen. Thank you to all of the Class A boys soccer teams that joined us along the way today. Go celebrate National Nutty Fudge Day. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Paul Davis Restoration. We know seasonal storms are going to be here before you know it. We've already had a few roll through the metro area and affected some of our neighbors to the north. It's just only a matter of time before your house can be affected as well. If your home is damaged by hail or water, or maybe you're dealing with some mold already in your house, call Paul Davis Restoration, 402-553-0373. Work with the Paul Davis franchise here in Omaha that's going to make sure your home is restored to the way it was before disaster strikes. If you have to make the phone call you never want to make, and unfortunately you have to, call 402-553-0373 and have your home restored today.